Hey everyone, this is a Watchman update. Here are some of the headline reports. Flags in Texas ordered to fly full staff at inauguration, violating what has been ordered from the federal level. We have Germany racing to stop a pork disease outbreak. Yes, that brings us to the trifecta. Not only chicken disease, not only beef herd disease, but also now we have pork under threat. A man arrested, take a guess which nationality, with a flamethrower in California near the LA fires. Because that's what normal people do. They see forest fires and say, I'm going to walk down the road with my flamethrower. I got to talk about that. We got a country, Azerbaijan, massing troops and issuing an ultimatum to its neighbor that things need to happen to avert war. We got a peanut shortage unfolding in the United States, and we have an egg shortage not only in the United States, but it's going global. The UK, Canada, and Australia. We got a whole bunch of Watchmen reports coming in from all over, stuff you won't hear anywhere else. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsors, Genesis Gold Group, that makes these updates possible. They do a fantastic job, and they've worked with a bunch of you guys already to help you secure your retirement accounts, your IRAs, 401ks, moving some or all of it over into physical metals like silver. You know I'm a big silver fan. If you want to secure your retirement account, you want to talk to Jonathan and his team, there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to get some more information. All right, let's start here in Texas. Texas Governor Abbott has ordered all Texas state buildings and the Capitol building in Texas to fly all flags at full mast on January 20th. That's Inauguration Day, right? The Biden administration has ordered flags at half mast at all federal buildings. This is for the morning of President Jimmy Carter's passing. There has been this kind of debate on whether they should be raised for Inauguration Day or whether they should be kept at half mast. But the state of Texas has made their decision. A suspect arrested with a flamethrower in California near an LA fire. Turns out he's a Mexican citizen. And let's just say, not here of lawful permission. Now, I think there's a couple ways this could possibly go. Perhaps he's just an ordinary Mexican citizen walking down a California road with a flamethrower because, maybe that's what you do in Mexico. Or maybe he saw the fires and said, hey, that looks like fun. I'm going to go home and get my flamethrower. Or he's just guilty. And I think I'm leaning towards the latter. And the fact that he's been arrested makes me inclined to think that the police agree with me on this one. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Yeah, Mexican citizens with flamethrowers near the fires. There have been numerous arson arrests already. And it looks like the Palisades fire was started intentionally, possibly, or at least negligence by humans. But, all right, let's move over here to Iran and Russia are to sign a comprehensive strategic partnership on January 17th, which, according to the mainstream media, is definitely Trump's fault. And so are the California fires. I don't know. Has anyone else stopped and asked the question why climate change hasn't started any fires in any other states other than democratically run states? Why doesn't climate change affect these Republican states as much as Democrat states? That's something that the scientists in the lab coats should maybe start to investigate. But getting back to this, Iran and Russia forming a formal strategic partnership is bad news. Bad news for the United States and its allies. This is exactly what we've been trying to avoid for many, many years. Our strategy in the Middle East and in Asia has been to split up our enemies, keep them separate. And the Biden administration has managed to push them all together. Germany is racing to contain an outbreak of foot and mouth disease. Just think of it as basically German pig bird flu, or bird flu in Germany for pigs. Other countries already are now blocking German pork exports, so not letting any of that happen out there. So we got chickens with the bird flu. We got beef in the United States with the bird flu, as well as just feed issues and all that. We got drought down in Brazil for beef as well. And now some of you guys are like, well, why isn't pork being affected? Oh, well, you're just ahead of the curve here, right? We see these things coming. And so now we're seeing mysteriously a pork-affecting disease has cropped up. So, all in due time. We're going to stamp out all meat across the world, and that's where we're headed with this thing. All right, so the United Kingdom has decided to make flying through their country a pain in the butt. Anyone passing through or visiting will now need a $12.50 electronic travel authorization. Basically, you need to pay them and to warn them that you're coming. So you need to pay them and you need to warn them that you're coming. Now, the $12.50 is one thing. Okay, it's a fee, it's annoying, I get it. But what concerns me more is this, you having to tell them that you're on your way. Why would they want that? Maybe because they want to shove your name in a system to see if you're on the bad guy list. Okay? So, say if you're an undesirable like me, that I issue this warning to them that I'm kind of flying through, I'm just passing through London or something. They can be there waiting to arrest me for my nefarious social media posts. This is one of the reasons why I can't go to the UK right now, because they've said that if you do certain things, which I have done, that they would arrest you even if you're a U.S. citizen. So I guess they wouldn't arrest me, but they've said that they would. So I got to take them at their word, right? And fortunately, I'm not stupid enough to fly through the UK. But how many other people have made some kind of post on social media, have reposted videos of the riots over there, and they don't know that they're going to be in a world of trouble, and the Facebook police over in the UK flag the person as they're flying through London, and they get snatched up and disappeared into one of the prisons in the UK system. I mean, if you gang assault 12-year-old girls, you'll end up in the prison for a short period of time. If you post Facebook memes or videos up and you're an American citizen and you're just flying through the country, you will also end up in that prison. It makes complete sense. I would advise most of you, if at all possible, to avoid that Gestapo state. Moving on to Azerbaijan, they are massing troops on the Armenia border for a possible invasion. The president of Azerbaijan gave a nearly 3-hour-long interview in which he signaled that his country would take military action if Armenia did not immediately demilitarize, denazify, oh wait, where have we heard that before? No longer act as a Western military puppet. This is sounding familiar, isn't it? And allow the ethnically cleansed All of those points were in somebody else's speech just a few years back. Allow ethnically cleansed Azeris to return to their homes. It was an ultimatum that sounded very much like Putin's speech before his invasion into Ukraine. Troops getting ready, political speech, laying out the justifications and the justifications for war and conditions for peace. This is what countries do before they invade things. Looks like Azerbaijan's going to be going into Armenia. All right, this is from Sweetly Made for Him. This is a big one out there too. I dug into this a little bit. I'll give you my thoughts afterwards, but you might want to listen up to this one. We live just outside Austin, Texas, and wanted to purchase peanuts. Seems reasonable so far. My husband is a diabetic, and it's a healthier snack option for him. They used to have lots. Then their prices went up as their stock dwindled over the past months, and now for the first time they have them stocked way down the bottom shelf. That's what they do when they don't want you to buy stuff. And still slim pickings. I imagine peanut butter shortages might be next. Stock up, folks. Difficult times ahead. God bless you for your updates, and God bless everyone listening. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I have noticed that peanut butter is indeed getting pretty short. Wasn't really sure what was happening, and with this post, I was kind of like, that sounds like it's kind of maybe a nothing burger. So, do my due diligence. I got on there and started looking around for peanut shortages. And turns out there actually is one. Here's from an article. It's out there. The 2024 peanut harvest in the United States is facing significant setbacks due to drought conditions, particularly impacting production in key states like Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Florida. Now, all those states are getting slammed with some pretty cold weather right now, too, which is impacting other crops down there. We're going to see impacts on crops in a bunch of these southern states. We already have impacts on things like oranges and things. We're probably going to see some damage done to these trees. But we're talking about peanuts. And apparently, the production of peanuts is down significantly this past year. So we'll dive into that a little bit more, but just be aware that if you want your peanuts, if you want your peanut butter, there may be something coming down the pike on that. So you might want to start thinking about stocking up on that. I will give you further updates on that and keep you ahead of the curve on that one too. Thanks once again for all you watchmen sending in these reports and breaking these stories amongst our crowd, right? Nikki saying, seeing eggs in Michigan for $7 a dozen now. We got a bunch of places around the country joining the $7 club, and it's not a good one to be in. $7 and up for a dozen eggs. Anyone remember $1.50 a dozen eggs? Yeah, I do. Not too long ago. David says, coffee in Red Wing, Minnesota, especially great value, and decaf coffee. None at all yesterday. Primal Prepper says, was shopping at my local supermarket yesterday. This is in Norfolk, England, in North Walsham. The eggs were nearly non-existent, maybe up to about 20 cartons of various sizes, more 15 egg cartons than other sizes, and prices are going up on them as well. So we are starting to see some impacts over in the UK with eggs. Wins says the retail place where I work said that they won't get a truck in for like a month. This is in the Pacific Northwest. Shaniqua. Bird flu found in a backyard flock in Clayton County, Georgia 2 days ago. That's just south of Atlanta. Lots of chicken farms out that way, friends. We may see another big cluster pop off in the coming weeks. there. Patriot, I guess. Do you have a mortgage? If so, read your mortgage documents. You are required to maintain homeowners coverage, or they can call your mortgage note. And if they call your note, you have to get out of your house. You lose every dime you invested. They swoop in and buy it for pennies on the dollar. Well, they swoop in, they seize it, and they'll probably turn around and sell it. Now, they have so much money that you owe them, right? But they can sell the house at that price or anything above that. They don't have to get you fair market value. They can sell it low just to move it. And you get stuck losing all that equity. Friends, this is one of the reasons why we're talking about these insurance cancellations and these insurance non-renewals are a threat. And some people are seeing this as a move to seize people's houses. If you owe money on your house and the banks want to get nasty, they can do some mean things to you. You need to be aware of what's in your contract, what's in your mortgage note. What can they do and what will trigger it? Jeff says, Nevada, went to Smith's yesterday, booze section, chips, junk food sections, filled to the top and stacked in the aisle. The rest of the store, however, very bare shelves. Not as bad as old Soviet pictures from the 80s, but it did remind me of them. Once again, that's in Nevada. Jason says, Jason here from Essex, Maryland, went to our local supermarket and they had hardly no eggs nor chicken. Also, there was a sign basically saying due to the bird flu that eggs and chicken will be sporadically out of stock. A grocery store is telling us that chicken is going to be out of stock. And higher prices as well as when in stock. So glad we have our fluffy butt girls at home. It might be time for all of us to get some fluffy butt girls laying eggs for us, huh? 418 says, beef prices through the roof in Ontario, Canada. Went to my butcher yesterday to buy T-bone steak, $21.99 a pound. Went up double in just 1 month. Beef prices are about to go vertical, friends, not just in Canada, but in the United States as well. Carol says, Australia, small country town in northeast Victoria. We have one supermarket in our town. I popped in for some items last night and noticed the egg fridge was empty. And I had a note on the door. Dear customer, due to supply issues, there is a 1 carton limit per customer per transaction. Luckily, I have my own egg-laying chickens as well. No eggs and limits on those non-existent eggs. Hopefully, folks around the world are paying attention. Just because the United States is being transparent on this one doesn't mean the problem isn't in other places. It's amazing how these globalists are basically doing the same thing in all these different countries if they can get away with it. Just Nana says, I'm below Topeka, Kansas, and haven't been able to get out of my driveway since the first snow, which was almost 2 weeks ago. But I'm prepared. Many of other older people are not. But at least in our small town, all you need is to ask for help. I'm hoping for a rain forecast later this week. So hopefully you can get out of your driveway. A lot of people not prepared out there. Hopefully you guys are heeding these warnings and thinking about getting prepared. Because you're responsible for you. And if you're not responsible for you, you will suffer the consequences. All right, friends, think about what our great-grandparents used to do. How they were prepared for winter storms, how they were prepared to get snowed in for the winter. They stocked up. They made sure that they and their family had what they needed, whether or not the electric company came through for them or not. Food for thought, friends. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out another video from this channel, the latest one is right up here. Just tap on the screen and go to the next one. If you want to check out what you can do with your retirement account with Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. Have a great rest of your day. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.